Good evening, Raskin enjoyers. Hope you're doing right, 'cause it's time for the 48-hour analysis. Basically, in this video, I'll look at all the skins in the current Rust store, make comparisons to previous Rust store skins, to get a good idea in regards to, well, how much are each of these skins likely to sell by next Thursday, and then knowing that, we'll then question, are these skins still holding up to being perfectly fine investments, or are there any potential problems that you need to be aware of? So sit back and relax, I'm going to start yapping. So, first 24 hours of sales to get started with. I had to repeat, it was the October Foresight Rust store, and with the October update, we saw beds becoming skinnable. We saw the first ever bed skins being added to a Rust store. 2 of them. And, well, I was walking into this expecting a certain problem, because we've dealt with this in the past. Basically, when we get a brand new skinnable, the first few skins are expected to sell a little bit insanely. You might recall when we last saw the backpacks becoming skinnable, large backpacks, just to clarify. So, what happened with the No Mercy backpack and the Hard Suit backpack? Well, No Mercy did 54,000 subscribers. Hard Suit did, I don't know, 31,000? Yep. Both of them sold a lot. Both of them sold a lot. And what happened was, after these two, there was more and more and more and more backpack skins being accepted. More options appeared. Twitch drops. So unfortunately, whilst they sold a ton, because they're the very first 2 skins to be, large backpack skins, other options appeared. People liked them. Attention went away from these 2, and they suffered because they sold a lot, so therefore there's a lot of them on the Steam market, a lot of them on third-party sites. Yeah, oversaturation. This has happened before with other, brand new skinnables, and, well, I'm not sure if everybody remembered this, so again, I thought, you know what, maybe I'll go and make a brand new video. This is basically for every brand new skinnable that we're going to see in the future. Because, of course, the plan is, with every single monthly update that we see, a brand new skinnable will be introduced. And it looks like the next one for November is going to be the Handmade LMG, right? But the same thing is expected to happen again. Now, maybe as time goes on, people will be a little bit wiser to this. But yes, with the first 24 hours of sales, oh my. Cargo Heli Bed, 24,374 subscribers. Absurd. Tropical Bed, 18,000 subscribers. Also, yeah, it's also absurd. Like, the only skins we've been seeing selling, like, a similar amount have been the Sinotypes. And we have a skin that sold more than the Sinotype skin this week. Well, that is madness. We haven't seen that in about 12 weeks, have we? So, okay. Looks like the beds might have some problems. As I said, oversaturation is a big, big problem. Please understand, over the course of this month, and I've already mentioned it in this video, it's expected that we'll probably see a bed skin being accepted in every single Rust store this month. Even the Halloween Rust stores. Yes, some very cool Halloween bed skins have been submitted. So we suddenly start seeing a lot of very interesting, very creative, and glow-in-the-dark designs. I think these 2 might suffer, alright? So we've kind of basically already talked about these, haven't we? But the point still remains. Learn from this, because you're very likely going to see it happen every single month from now on with the Foresight Rust stores. So, okay, cool. So, they look like they're selling pretty crazy. But we know in regards to the Sinotype skins, because it's a large box collection, it might sell a lot, but that's fine. That's fine. Now, in regards to the brand new focused item of the month, the miner hat, this anglerfish miner's hat, oh my, 17,000 subscribers. Again, very close to this lot. It's insane. But we've seen this happen before, haven't we? Do you remember when we first saw the salvaged ice pick skins being the focused item of the month? We hadn't seen a salvaged ice pick skin in about 8 years. First one appears, sells very nicely. It only reached up to about 26,000 subscribers, but hey, fair enough. But then another one appeared the next week, and another one the next week, and another one the next week. Point I'm trying to get across is, with the next Rust store, do not be surprised if we see another miner's hat. And if this has sold a ton, well, that might be a little bit problematic then, won't it? So, yeah, okay, fair enough. Small cards box. You're the 4th skin in the Sprawl Props collection, and, well, you're doing pretty good. Yes, it has sold a little bit more compared to the Diesel and the Meds box, but with it being an October Foresight Rust store, more specifically, a Foresight Rust store, a lot of people did turn up, a lot of people did play the game. You get the idea. I'm not surprised it sold a little bit more, but it does seem like it's going to sell a very similar amount compared to the previous 2 small boxes, so that's fine. The first ever cards box, though, that is interesting. It's also abnormal, so that's an interesting thing to remember. Olympus AK-47, that's been getting quite a lot of attention. I made a little bit of a fuss about it, talking about how it has a transparent aim sight, a nice white and gold design. Seems like a lot of people also, buying it, appreciating it. But will it hold? Will it actually do quite all right in the near future? We'll have to talk about that, won't we? And then with the remaining skins, they're doing quite all right, but there is a bit of a drop off here. So 11,000 to 7,000 to 4,000. Whoa, okay, well, yeah. And do not forget, we have the special charity plushies here. They are not tradable. They are not marketable, okay? If you want to get a good look at them, please consider watching my rust rotation video. Just look in the description, skip to the chapter where I showcase them. They are very nice. They are very cuddly. They make you nice and comfortable. They give you 70% comfort, and all proceeds do go to those charities. Cancer Research UK and the Ronald McDonald House. So, yeah. And just to repeat, Ronald McDonald House is like to help sick kids. So, if you think it sounds funny, yeah, no. But anyway, let's just continue. So, that's the first 24 hours of sales there. Pretty ridiculous. Yeah. What about the 48 hours of sales? Because I am recording a little bit later. Do not forget, this Rustle rotated early, right? Well, I did, get a nice screenshot. There you go. Kind of surprised to see that the Cargo Heli Bed only did an extra 7,000 subscribers. You look at the Tropical Bed here, and it only did like an extra 5,000. Maybe it might slow down, in the later half of the week, the 7-day tenure. Anglerfish Miner's Hat is still selling quite a lot, so, kind of not surprising. Yeah, it kind of looks like these skins might actually slow down, and they might not sell as ridiculously as we first envisioned. But still, you never know. I remember when I did my recording of the video yesterday talking about the beds and, of course, brand new Skinnables in the future. My early expectation was this is going to probably reach up to 50,000 subscribers. Is that going to happen, though? We'll talk about that in a bit, don't you worry. So, yeah, first 48 hours right there in front of you. Pause the screen if you want, because now I'm going to show you a few hours later. So the sales, they are looking pretty wild. But we have seen this happen in the past. So if I could just quickly hop over to here, nice refresh. We have peaked at almost 180,000 people today. Saturday, it is the 4th of October. Yes. And we are starting to perk back up again after the slump we saw with September. This isn't a surprise. But also, a lot of people haven't been enjoying themselves with this brand new update. They actually had to put a patch out yesterday because people couldn't find any blueprint fragments, could they? If I could just quickly navigate back over to here, I want to show you a quick little message. There you go. With the new update and the struggles in finding blueprint fragments, players haven't been able to even get a tier 2 workbench. Yes, many people are in this position. This has led to the Revolver getting a lot more love and a lot more usage, leading to the Heatseeker Revolver reaching a new all-time peak price. Yesterday, it almost reached $6, and I think today it actually got even closer. So this new update, it's been a bit rough for a lot of people. A lot of people have been standing up and saying, "Oh, this ruins the experience for solos and whatnot." And I would agree. Please remember this: it's like a work in progress, find out sort of phase. Basically, they could easily revert back to the way it was before next month, okay? So if you're wondering, oh no, is this how the game's going to be from here and now? Well, probably, but I'm pretty sure they're learning pretty quickly what people do and do not like. Just saying. But a lot of people have said they do enjoy the experience. A lot of people have actually said they actually enjoy the fact that not everybody is roaming around with AK-47s. A lot more people have been, making use of revolvers and the Tier 1 SMG. Feel free to comment below. Offer your opinions. I'd love to hear what you say. Because if people can't get to Tier 2 and Tier 3 too quickly, perhaps a lot more Tier 1 weapons, which are skinnable, maybe their value might rise up. Ooh. So if I could just quickly switch over to here. Maybe we'll find the Heatseeker Revolver. I can't see it right now. Let's just take a look at you. There we go. And it has gone up in price. Ooh. So if I could just quickly switch over and turn my extensions on, I am using the Steam Inventory Helper. And as you'll see, I can look at this in different currencies. I want to see what it looks like in dollars. And there you go. Almost $6. It's better than yesterday. So that is pretty interesting, isn't it? Yep. So, let's see if this type of behaviour sticks around. I might have to, do a very special video dedicated to talking about that. But with the naval update, I won't be surprised if they're a little bit shocked by the responses they've gotten from people, they might revert it back, because with the naval update, that's a huge, big, fat content update, isn't it? So, but then again, with this brand new naval update, maybe getting resources with the brand new update might be even easier. We don't even realise it yet. then again, would having a base in the ocean be more OP compared to playing on land? Again, we don't know. So just want to point that out. A pretty interesting bit of behaviour. But let's now switch back over to here. And of course, talk about all the skins and figure out how much are they likely to sell by next Thursday. So I've actually got everything prepared. I've written it all up. Cargo Heli Bed. You are you are almost at 33,000 subscribers. And by default, my answer is I'd rather just stick with a buy order. Right now, my suggestion is I'm probably only going to go halfway with a buy order. I am fully well aware, with Halloween submissions, there's some very cool looking Halloween beds. So there has been a lot more submissions. We have 2 Halloween beds right here, Sacrificial Bed and a collection continuation to the horror bag. We have the horror bed. Things are looking pretty sweet. But over the course of this weekend, wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe another 2 or so bed skins being submitted for Halloween. So there will be more options. People will, their attention will then be set towards all the newer skins. You very likely will be left behind with so many purchases as well. Oh my. But I also have to take into consideration, chances are a lot of people who turned up to play the game, of course, 178,000 people, they probably looked at the Rust store, saw the first ever bed skins and they thought, well, I want a bed skin, and they wouldn't have bought it. And Cargo Heli Bed selling better compared to Tropical Bed is probably due to the fact that that glows in the dark. So just saying, not too surprising, but very concerning with its future. So if I could just now quickly hop back over to here, take a look at the first 24 hours of sales. As you can see here, 24,000 subscribers. I had to go pretty far back. As you can see here, this is the August Force White Rust store, and that is the Sinotype Ore large box, yes. 26,000 subscribers almost. However, wasn't this when I was like 2 hours late? Yep. Basically, I will judge the recent behaviour with Sinotype large boxes, and this one of course, and I'll give you a nice roundabout sort of answer in regards to how much this is more likely going to reach. So this is currently here at 33,000 subscribers, and if we could just quickly hop back over to here, you'll see that this did almost 47,000 subscribers. But I don't think we'll be reaching that far. I am noticing sales do seem to be slowing down a fair bit. Well, of course, it's not Force Wipe anymore. Well, you get the idea. Anyway, basically what I'm saying is, based on what I've seen with previous Rust stores, with the behaviour I'm seeing here, I think this is going to only about reach between 40 to 45,000 subscribers. Only. Well, as I said, I'm still expecting it to sell a ridiculous amount. But it's not going to be selling like over 50,000 like I originally assumed. But it still looks like it's going to suffer the consequences of being bought far too much. Sorry to say, but yeah. Like, if you bought one for yourself, that's not a problem. You bought a skin because you wanted it. You treated yourself. But chances are, I wouldn't be surprised if that halves in price. Now, here's another thing. I was doing a comparison, of course, to the backpacks. When I first noticed that we were getting brand new Skinnables, I was worried about what, based on what happened with these. You've got to remember, when backpack skins first became skinnable last year, what happened then was we got about 4 months of constant backpack skins in Rust stores and Twitch drops, and then again in Rust stores, and the next Rust store, and the next Rust store. It was continuous. It wouldn't stop. Facepunch just kept accepting more and more and more of them. I don't know if after this month we're going to constantly see bed skins in Rust stores. At the very least, Rust stores from here now will be a whole lot more diverse. Basically, you might not see tons of sheepman doors and garage doors anymore. Maybe you won't see that many AK-47s anymore, because you might start seeing, from the top of my head, bed skins, handmade LMG, wolf headdresses. What about, I don't know, nail gun? People have been asking about that as well. You could also potentially see the prototype gun getting skins. You could also see SKS. Oh, SKS. Oh. Anyway, lots of interesting things could start getting skins, and maybe Rust stores would be completely revamped. And then we'll probably start seeing a lot less large boxes, sheepman doors. But how many beds are we going to get a year? I know a lot of skin creators are making skins for them now, because of course it's the new thing, getting tons of sales. Of course they'll do one as well. But just be concerned and wary that yes, these first 2 beds very likely will drop off. However, with that tropical bed, things might be a little bit more interesting in the future. So I'm going to wrap it up there. I know for a fact that when we do the abnormal barders next Wednesday I should say, I will be doing about halfway and maybe even less, because I'm very concerned about the sales it's getting. So, alright, cool. Sinotype Charcoal and Tropical Bed. So this isn't going to be too hard. in regards to Sinotype Charcoal, I can easily look at like previous weeks and get a good estimation. So as you can see here, last week, the Sinotype Explosives, they had almost 20,000 subscribers. Now over to here, this has only 18,300. But all I've got to do is just quickly hop over to here, look at the previous week, and probably just generalize. So I can probably sit here and say, that reached 43, and then with the previous weeks, these, that only reached 34. The week before that, this only reached 36. I get the feeling, again, look at the current sales with this as well. I think Sinotype Charcoal and Tropical Bed will sell between 33 to 38,000 subscribers. Perhaps Charcoal might get an extra few more sales towards the end. Again, a lot of people like to wait till the last second, but I don't think we'll see that many people waiting until the last second for the bed. Again, with all the warnings I put out, I wouldn't be surprised. But Sinotype Charcoal, or should I say, the horse poo box, ha 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 ha. Anyway, with what we have here, again, the collection grows. We recently just saw the metal frags being submitted, there you go. But how many skins do we have in total now? Let's just get a quick look at that. So we have 12. Number 13, well, it is on the workshop. When are we going to have the Halloween restores? The next October restore is the 9th of October, and that is expected to be a regular store. But I should also point out, Halloween skins have to be submitted by October 7. I'm not sure if we're going to see a Halloween restore for October 16. It will or it won't, we'll see. But last year, we had 3 weeks of Halloween, didn't we? Now, some of you might point out, oh, but the update's not happening until the 23rd. Well, that was the same last year. But we still had a Halloween restore before that. So we'll see what happens. And I'm still hoping that we do see more skins after October, of course, in November. But at some point, it does have to stop. So we're currently looking at metal frags. We just recently had charcoal, explosives, sulfur, wood, stone. Would you like to see that? Lost my tongue. Would you like to see that next? What about that aquatics box I talked about earlier this year, about a couple of weeks ago? Someone suggested it on YouTube. Why not do an aquatics box? With the naval update just around the corner, you never know what type of equipment and resources you're going to need to build up your boat bases and maintaining them. So, hey, we'll see. Drop box, car parts box. We'll see, all right? But I think everybody in general is quite happy with the way things have turned out. So right now, it is the beginning of October. We're currently sitting perhaps in the worst of the autumn-fall seasonal dip. And on average, these skins, well, they're not doing too bad. Some of them quite literally stuck at around $3, as expected. That's what we initially presumed when we first saw like the first couple of skins. But I'll be honest with you, these are currently looking like they're doing better compared to where they were like a week ago. Perhaps a lot of people jumping in now and buying them because they probably realised that, yeah, it can't get any worse than this now, can it? So if you're actually looking to buy a full set of these, right now would probably be the best time. Because if you look at these again, around January 2026, when of course like people won't be working as much and whatnot during like the end of December into early January. But yeah, do not be surprised if these prices go up even higher. That is the expectation. And of course, summer of next year, rise again. Maybe 2027 January time, another post-Christmas, maybe it'll be even higher. Who knows if we're going to see another large box collection anytime soon, but this is looking okay. I'm not worried. That's fine to me. So, okay, cool. Tropical Bed. I asked the skin creators, because of course I've seen it in game. It looks nice. I would love to see like a whole batch of deplorables built like this. And so I asked, and we got a quick response. So Mishka said, yes, we will try to continue this collection, but most likely after Halloween. That's fine. I'm totally down for that. So what type of deplorables would you like to see being made next? Go for a comment below, because I feel like that has a lot of potential behind it, and more skins being accepted after this. I wouldn't say no to that. But also, Face Puncher watching, if you want to do a brand new wood building skin, tropical, that'd be awesome. Bamboo, leaves on the walls and whatnot, that'd be awesome. Leafy roof, that'd be awesome. So we'll see. But yeah, there's potential that this could turn into a big collection. We'll see how things turn out around November time. But still, with the sales that this has, and of course, the chances are that we're going to see another bed skin being accepted next week. I'm still a bit, but hey, we do like if we just did like a $1 barter, I think it wouldn't be too bad. So yeah, all right, we'll leave it at that then. Sorry to say, I know a lot of people are super eager for these, but do not be surprised by the behaviour we are about to see with these brand new bed skins, okay? You've been warned, and we have to learn, and we have to be aware of what to expect in the future with brand new Skinnables. So cool, that's it. That's a wrap. Let's now move on to the focused item of the month. As I said, based on what we saw in the past, unfortunately, this anglerfish minor hat very likely will suffer. Now, first minor hat to be accepted in 8 years, and it's only listed at 99 cents. That's like a recipe for disaster, wasn't it? So, okay, let's just quickly showcase to you the oldest skin, 2016, and the other two, 2017. 8 years later, ta-da! But as I said, based on what we've seen with all the previous focused items of the month, we saw 1 skin, 2 skin, 3 skin, 4. However, we do have Halloween. I don't know if we're going to see more of these being accepted afterwards, but I should point out, we just had M39s being the focused item of the month last month, and we actually got 5, but we didn't have like 5 weeks of September, did we? No. So you might actually still see even more as we roll into November as well. So if you also just want to be made aware, we did see quite a lot of very interesting minor hat skins being produced. So if I were to just go over to here and look at most recent, yeah, some of the ones we're going to look at right now aren't that good. Oh, is that a Halloween skin? Hello. Yes. All right then. That's looking pretty sweet. So you also have to take into consideration the possibility that we also might see some Halloween designs. Jim Boss, I'm not going to say no. Nice looking brain. So yeah, even more Halloween skins are being submitted. But as you can see here, safety hat, demon's gaze, coconut, nature. I don't know what Milho Frito was thinking, but I want it. Would you like to have a halo? Anyway, so we'll just leave that. So you should be cautious. I haven't even talked about the possibility of what that's going to probably sell by next Thursday, but I'm still worried. I'm still concerned. Let's now go ahead and find out. So that did 17,000 subscribers. The best thing to compare to was Sinotype Armor and Sulfur. So Sulfur only did 16,000 subscribers, and Armor did 17,400 subscribers. So if we were to just go over to here, look at the somewhat recent Rustors we had, that did 34,000 subscribers, and this right here did almost 36,000 subscribers. So in regards to this minor set, I'm expecting that to do between 30 to 35,000 subscribers. With its current progress, yeah, I think that's probably going to happen. Sorry to say, but not surprising. So by all means, if you bought one for yourself, there's no problems for you, all right? Yeah, the price is going to probably go down afterwards, but you bought it because you wanted it, and I hope you're happy. But if you do see another one next week, don't end up dumping that and grabbing a new one. Appreciate it. Come on now, you're a Ruskin enjoyer, aren't you? Anyway, moving on. Small cards box. So, I looked at that, I thought about it, and I thought I'll probably pair up the Olympus AK-47 and the small cards box, because both of them are doing quite similar sales at the moment. But initially, as you'll see, this did 12,400 and this did 11,400. At the current rate of sales, this looks like it's going to slow down, but this looks like it's going to eclipse it. So keep that in mind. 12,400, 11,400, what could we compare to? Well, I thought about previous boxes in regards to Sinotype skins. So basically, oh no, sorry, I got that mixed up. Previous boxes such as the small meds and of course the small diesel box. So okay, fair enough, that might be a perfectly fine thing to compare to. I even considered comparing with the Final Flight garage door, but I found out all of them sold around the same amount. So if we could just quickly take a look and see what did the recent, oh no, that's the wrong one. It doesn't notice that this is a collection, so I'll just go to the previous week. As you can see here, the meds box did about 24,000 subscribers, and of course, Diesel, you did about 25,000 subscribers. So I'm rolling with the expectation that the cards box and the Olympus AK-47 very likely will do between 23 to 26,000 subscribers. So, in regards to small cards box, I don't know what's being made next. Skin Crate hasn't told me anything, but that's not doing too bad at the moment. Neither is this. And I've got to remind you, it's quite rare to see small boxes actually doing quite all right. As you will see, the majority of these aren't doing very good. Work Crate with your transparency, there's some pretty interesting exploits you can use with this, hiding it in rocks and whatnot. But to see these two doing pretty good, hey, it's nice to see. But I should remind you, we already do have a small box collection of sorts, but we don't really have that many matching, do we? Well, I mean, we have fuel and we have meds there. Uh-oh. Actually, that one's a little bit more expensive than the one over here, but anyway. I'm expecting a new one. I did suggest an aquatic one, and you know what? We could hop over to here, look at the workshop, and see if anybody's asked anything, see if the skin creators responded. Skin creator has not responded, but yeah, okay. Well, it is what it is. So someone's asking for like other sort of things you might have in your home: an old school hi-fi record player, CRT monitor. Loads of people have done that in the past. They haven't been accepted. So, in regards to what we could see next in terms of a useful small box, not sure. But I did ask for an aquatic box. As I said, in regards to Sinotype, if we're going to have the naval update, coming out just around the corner next month, November Force Wipe, we might need something to store all of our boat parts in and whatnot. So we'll see what that amounts to. But that could also double up, if it's like a generalised sort of design, double up as like a diving equipment box as well. Because with the naval update, it looks like you're going to have to be doing quite a lot of diving to go find some treasure. Oh, so, all right, cool. So you're doing as expected, I guess. You're selling just as much as the previous ones. You should be fine. However, cards box. Apparently with this brand new update, it's also hard to find cards as well. So, God, a lot of people getting a lot of usage out of that then, aren't they? So feel free to comment below. Once again, how has your Force Wipe been? But focusing back to here, until we see another cards box being accepted, I can't help but assume that's going to be pretty interesting as time goes on. Diesel's actually recovered already. That was pretty interesting. But you are definitely looking to be an interesting thing that I might even consider buying a few of. Now, you can comment below as well, but with that being abnormal, we get that early insight. That is the first small props box skin to be abnormal. So we'll definitely be making sure to make use of that time. Okay, so we'll talk more about that on Wednesday next week. Olympus AK-47. So, of course, with all the default, with my default view with AK-47s as an investment, I don't really trust them. And I'm sure you understand, especially with all the Twitch drops we've had recently. Ta-da and ta-da. So, this year, based on regular, normal AK-47s in a rush store, we've only got 2 that are doing good. You were a mistake, so go away. Anyway, so yeah, only 2 this year that are doing quite all right. Last year it's kind of similar. Popstar, you've been good, but you've also dropped off a fair bit. Oh, wow. Where is the Black Diamond one? Where is the Black Diamond? I cannot see it. Okay, that's gone by, yeah, that's down by 10%. That is near down by 2%. Wow. So all the AK-47s from last year are also suffering. You might say, what's going on with El Diablo? That's being pumped. I've noticed that. So that's not really legitimate. But if you do happen to own an El Diablo AK-47, I'm going to go sell it if you want. Anyway, so yeah, loads of skins are suffering at the moment. We've already said that. We're currently going through the worst of the autumn fall seasonal dip. But will this potentially be something that people will appreciate as time goes on? So again, I would recommend that you go ahead, watch my Rust rotation video, skip ahead to the chapter I showcase the Olympus AK-47, or you could go ahead and watch the short video I made. I ask you, what are your thoughts with this? And what would you like to see being made next? Mr. Fuff, he made an MP5 previously, and I wouldn't be surprised if he remakes it, does a version 2, and puts that in the workshop sometime soon. Revolver? Actually, I actually might go over here and ask him. Yeah, that won't be too bad of an idea. Again, if people can't get a tier 2 workbench, Revolver's probably a great shout, just saying. So, okay, cool. But, weapon-only collection, by default, wouldn't be something a lot of people would care about. But we did have Heatseeker this year. If this has a transparent aim sight, what will happen if he attempts a SAR? And an MP5 again? And a revolver? And a Python? Ooh, okay, we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see, all right? Keep an eye on the workshop. There's definitely a lot more to talk about, but we've got to see what he makes over the course of this weekend. But of course, we also had to take into consideration we have Halloween in between. Yeah, okay, fair enough. So, things are looking interesting. So, just to repeat, for those 2 skins, I'm expecting that they're going to do between 23 to 26,000 subscribers. For a small box and an AK, that is quite a lot, but with the potential behind them, things are still looking pretty interesting. So, cool. Moving on. Luxury gold door. A wooden door. I don't trust wooden doors. You take a look at over here and you'll see, oh no. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. So, yeah, I've already said that in the predictions video and the rust rotation video. So, for this wooden door, I looked around and I thought, you know what? Best thing to compare to would be, quite literally, last week's Fort MP5. Because, of course, last week, we saw the Fort MP5. It only did like 7,000 subscribers after the first 24 hours of sales. And as you can see here, 7,400. So, okay. looking pretty interesting. Perfectly fine, comparison then. So that reached 16,000 subscribers. So over to here, luxury gold wood door. At the current rate of sales, I do think between 14 to 16,000 subscribers is where that's going to end up at. Is that fine for it though? No. It's still going to go down in price. Like all the other wooden doors we've seen come out over the past 3 or 4 years, most likely answer is it's going to go below $1. For sure. I look at all the skins that came out this year, and then the ones last year, and the ones year before that, and the ones year before that. Yeah, it's going below $1. So no, I think it's going down regardless. Done. Right. So in regards to the final 3 skins, initially they were fairly close to each other, and I did kind of do the same thing last week. I just bunched up the final 3. So as you can see here, Caution Work Boots, 3,459 subscribers, Viridian M39, 4,000 subscribers, and the Nuke Vibe SAR, 4,600 subscribers. I'm just going to compare to the previous week. So these 3 skins again? Or maybe I could compare to the Nuke Vibe, Fallen Boots, and Grub DBS. Maybe just these 3 then. Not you. Go away, you. Okay, just these 3 then. Alright then. So, Nuke Vibe, you're the upper, and Grub DBS, you're the lower. Basically, the Caution Work Boots are going to end up like the Grub DBS, whereas the Nuke Vibe SAR is going to be acting like the AK. So, let's hop over to here, look at the previous week, and let's go find out. Nuke Vibe AK-47, you reached 9.5 thousand subscribers. Grub DBS, you only reached 6,000 subscribers. No, 7,000. Sorry. I reckon that with these 3 remaining skins over to here, we can say 7 to 10,000. Wow, amazing. But yeah, it's pretty easy to do a quick comparison. So okay, you're most likely going to be doing 7,000 subscribers, whereas this is more likely going to get close to around 10,000 subscribers. Is it going to help any of these out? For the weapons, no. Sorry to say, but yeah, Nuke Vibe, AK-47, you've already started to drop down in price, and I'm not surprised by that. We did 60 cent to 80 cent barters for this, even though I only did about 9,500 subscribers. If you're about to do the same, again, it'll be 60 cents to 80 cents. So sorry, but I'm not seeing a lot of interest in it. This is the 5th M39 skin to be accepted in a row. How's the other M39s currently holding up? So Abyss is still doing pretty good. Props to that. No Mercy wasn't doing too bad for a while, but now it's lost a third of its value. Ooh. But you, Viridian, if you were to sell less than 10,000, you're going to be like the lowest selling M39 skin in about 3 years or so, which is fine, but I still don't trust it's going to work out all right. This used to be something we used to hardly ever see being, getting any skins accepted, and now, this year we got 6. So, yeah. I think that's just going to be another 60 cent to 80 cent barter. Sorry to say, but yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to hold out. Now, Caution Work Boots, I don't know what the skin creator intends to do next. Will we see another attempt for tier 3? So as I hop over to here to comments, has anybody asked? So all I'm seeing is messages from years ago. Just to remind all of you, the Caution collection, it started back in 2018. We got another skin accepted in, 7 years later. It started off with tier 2. In 2020, we got the hoodie and pants. Will there be another attempt for tier 3? It's up to Bad Trip. Bad Trip is the most successful skin creator in all of Rust. He has had the most acceptances. He has a ton of collections. So I'm not sure what he's planning to do next, but I wouldn't rule out the possibility of seeing an attempt for tier 3. Now, at the current rate of the sales of these, it's going to perfectly slot in and sell just a little bit less compared to the hoodie and pants, potentially. But with the tier 2 here, because with it coming out in 2018, it only did 4,000 subscribers here. These did 8,000, which is looking to be a lot more approachable. So okay, cool. But those boots very likely won't be holding up very nicely. You might recall we had those porcelain boots, and it was in a very similar situation. We never saw hoodie and pants for that set. It was incomplete, much like the Caution collection. Porcelain boots, you ended up selling the least out of all the clothing armour, but you're now sitting here negative 41%. It went down bad. So it's not surprising that happened, I guess you could say. But this is in the exact same sort of position. Could it happen all over again? Well, considering that this is an older collection with a lot less in circulation, this might actually hold up a little bit better. We'll have to talk more about that on Wednesday. So, okay, cool. Fair enough. So that is essentially everything. all the estimates in regards to sales will be in the description. So look for the chapters. You'll see the estimates with the chapter. You get the idea. So okay, cool. Sorry for yapping a bit, but it was quite a lot to yap about, and it was a bigger rush store than normal. So just to remind you, the plushies, all proceeds go towards the charities, but they are not tradable. They are not marketable. I think initially they had an accident and some of them were tradable. I think it was just one of them, but they fixed it pretty quickly, all right? So no, you're not going to be able to trade these. You do not have a special one. They are all the same. So cool, understood. So in regards to the player count, it is doing pretty good. It's nice to see. No complaints over here. And in regards to the commits, nothing new has been mentioned. Nothing new has been mentioned that we're going to be like, oh, wow. So, okay, but still, keep an eye on the commits. You never know what's going to be mentioned. So, okay, that essentially is everything that we needed to say. I think we do have, like, some other things that I want to share. Like, Emio had a wonderful sort of message here. This is everything you need to know about the new update. Well, I guess they really want to get that, that workbench. Oh, okay, fair enough, fair enough. What else is there to mention? Oh, yes, this. So we kind of already got the hint. We already are, like, we're already well aware. But after the handmade LMG for November, what's next? Perhaps you might want to go ahead, take part in this, and tell Face Punch what do you want to see become skinnable next. I will probably make another video talking about this, alright? Okay? Because of course I've made a video talking about weapons, and last time it was tools. Well, maybe not this upcoming Tuesday or Monday, but maybe next Saturday, I'll go through this and you can tell me what you would absolutely like to see. Or you can tell me what you'd like to see. What I'm saying is, I'll put this tweet linked in the description, so scroll down, you can look at it right now. And all you got to do is make sure you're already signed in to a Gmail account. Open that form and you can jump in and you can get a good look at it, all right? But just remember, if you're a streamer, it will show your email, okay? So, all right, cool. So that does seem to be everything. Cool. All right. So in regards to bed skins and, of course, brand new skinnables, once again, I'll point out, watch this video. It is a bit rambly, but it was easy to predict what was going to happen to the beds, and it's going to be easy to predict what's going to happen to all the other skinnables. After you watch that, you'll understand everything. It's not too hard to comprehend. So, yep, that is everything. Oh, maybe a quick little insight in regards to what we see on the workshop. So I've noticed more Halloween submissions. I've noticed more Halloween collection continuations. Do you remember last year when we had that cool looking mummy jacket? Well, now we have a head wrap. It's a bandana, it seems. Over to here, what else do we see? I noticed the pumpkin collection, not tier 3. Not tier 3, but a jacket. Oh, well, that's looking pretty interesting. And now we can also mention that we have the Death's Gate garage door. I can also point out there's a lot of Halloween garage doors already. Yep, it's already happening. And yeah, pumpkin exhibition. Another weapon again. So we're starting to notice a lot more Halloween submissions. We're starting to notice a lot more Halloween continuations. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure how many regular sort of skin submissions we're going to see, but I have prepared for it, as you'll notice. October 7, we have 4 skins so far. Actually, I should actually add this bed. Did I? No. Okay, I've got to add the bed. Okay, cool. So it might be a pretty small Rust Workshop skin checks yapping session, but when it comes to talking about the Halloween skins, it might be a matter of, I can't show every single one of them because there's tons of them, but I'll probably ask my own server, let's do some bingo, tell me what skins you like the most, and I'll also just probably dedicate a video to talk about all the collection continuations I see, which at the moment is quite a lot actually. So, alright, cool, that's it, that's a wrap. So, thank you very much for watching me, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, keep an eye out in regards to those skins. Let's hope we don't see the sales go any more ridiculous. Keep an eye on the workshop for potential competition. Keep an eye on the workshop for potential collection continuations. That's it. So catch you later. See you, goodbye.